Back in April of 1947, a monkey in the Zika forest of Uganda developed a fever. What researchers had on their hands was the first recorded appearance of the Zika virus. Researchers later discovered the same virus in the mosquitoes that inhabited the same forest. The type of mosquito that carries the Zika virus has two subsets of the Aedes species, the Aegypti and the albopictus. These are the same mosquitoes that spread the dengue virus. As of January 2017, over 4,000 cases of the Zika virus have been reported in the US alone. Over half of the people in a US survey considered the Zika virus an international concern. So how is it transmitted? First and foremost, it is spread through mosquito bite, but can then be transmitted from a pregnant mother to her fetus, through unprotected sex, and likely even through blood transfusion. Blood transfusion is especially concerning because it poses the possibility of a traveler with Zika returning home and being bitten by a non-infected mosquito, which would then contract the disease and be able to spread it. The real danger is seen when a pregnant mother is infected. Although many mothers who have contracted Zika give birth to perfectly healthy babies, Zika virus has been linked to an increased risk of severe microcephaly. Microcephaly is a disorder characterized by an unusually small head, and in some cases, nerve damage, rigid limbs, an underdeveloped brain, seizures, and even a shorter lifespan. Approximately 4 out of 5 cases are asymptomatic, but common symptoms include fever, rash, joint and muscle pain, headache, and redness of the eyes. The species of mosquito can only survive in certain climates. Therefore, areas such as Central and South America, southern Florida, and parts of the Caribbean have reported cases of the Zika virus. Travel warnings exist throughout these regions. Nearly 23 million Americans alone reside in climate zones where Zika may be transmitted year-round. The Zika virus has had a profound effect on travel and tourism in affected areas, such as the Caribbean, which relies heavily on the tourism sector every year. Initial cancellations for vacations in the U.S. Virgin Islands resulted in a $250,000 loss. In Puerto Rico alone, the cancellations of business meetings and conventions have projected a $28 million hit. However, the risk is far greater for pregnant women and couples who are planning on starting a family in the near future. Brazil, because of its temperatures, climate, and population density, is a hotspot for Zika virus. The 2016 Olympics in Rio is a great example of how the Zika virus affected travel and tourism. Many health experts advise that the games be postponed or moved, but other organizations like the World Health Organization suggested that the games should go on. Nonetheless, many athletes opted out of attending or took precautionary measures, and many media sources pointed out the emptiness of the seats and stadiums. Compared to the last two Summer Olympic Games in London and Beijing, which sold 96% of total available tickets, Brazil only sold 88%, a loss that may be partially attributed to the fear of contracting Zika. Unfortunately, there is currently no vaccination or cure for the Zika virus, but it is typically harmless unless, of course, you are planning on starting a family. That is, the risk of death or hospitalization is very low. Medical experts suggest that those who contract the Zika virus should rest and get lots of fluids. Symptoms typically clear up within a few days to a week. While there is no cure once contracted, Zika virus is highly preventable. If you live in a place where the disease is prevalent, or you cannot avoid traveling to these areas, the CDC recommends wearing long pants and long-sleeve shirts treated with permethrin. Additionally, insect repellent is imperative. Next, you can use mosquito netting and/or air conditioning in the home and keep windows and doors closed. Finally, you can prevent the sexual transmission of Zika by using condoms or abstaining from sex altogether, especially if you know you have the virus. One study has shown that the Zika virus remained dormant in one man's semen for up to 62 days after contraction. Luckily in Canada, the Aedes aegypti mosquito cannot survive the climate, so the only reported cases have been from those who returned home after traveling. but like I have already mentioned, there is the potential to spread it to our local mosquitoes, so it is best to avoid any mosquito bites after returning from a place where Zika is prevalent.